Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the world's biggest stars. And we found one for you today. Alexandra Burke, how are you?
Wonderful. Really good, thank you.
This is very awkward. We're already starting this 4-hour-long interview and I can't think of my first question. It's somewhere around it. Oh, yes. Will you marry me? That's my first question.
And the answer's yes.
Do you know what? I sat through your performance in The Bodyguard up in Newcastle just a week ago and I was blown away. Let me tell you why. You come on and you have to shine as this star, and truly your voice is second to none. The best I've heard since Celine Dion in Las Vegas, truly. Wow. And then the physicality of it, the dancing was up there with Britney in Vegas, and you put them together and you can do both. You've got such a core skill. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I've been training very, very hard from the age of 9 on singing, dancing and acting, and it's something that means a lot to me. So for you to say that, it truly is special, so thank you.
But then I think of your tenacity to do this in a show, 5, 6, whatever time a week that you've got to do it. I mean, it's relentless. The Bodyguard, the musical, is literally the film condensed into 2 halves where you have to act up a storm because this is a really touching play. You have to sing like a bird and dance at the same time. How drained are you after it?
Completely drained. I do 6 shows a week, and even on my day off I'm working, and most of the time, because at the moment I'm working on different projects for myself personally, I literally will come off stage and I go back home to wherever I'm living, straight on my computer. Either I'm approving mixes, or I'm doing emails, or I'm doing whatever, because it just doesn't stop for me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But it is really draining, and I need at least 8 to 10 hours sleep, or there's no way I can sing. Pretty much. I
think this production's lucky to have you in a sense that you don't really need to do it, do you? I mean, you've got a whole life outside of this. You've just launched this brand new EP, which is sensational. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you've got your charity work, you've got your fashion stuff, and of course you're an artist in your own right. When you sign away a year of your life to do this show, it's a huge commitment, isn't it?
Absolutely. And to be perfectly honest with you, my manager's standing here in the room. I was scared to sign away a year of my time, but what, you know, how I came to the decision of saying yes, when the role was offered to me 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago when it first started with Heather Headley, I said no because I didn't have the confidence to do such a role, or I didn't think I could execute it in any way, shape or form. It came back a couple of years later, and literally I was like, no, I don't think I can do it. And my manager turned to me and went, the role's too big for you, that's why. And I went, excuse me? Sorry? The role's too big for me? Oh, no, honey, I'll take the role. So that's how it started, of course. And then I got into the Adelphi, and I only thought it was going to be, 3 months, and that was it. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy it the way that I have done. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think that I would love it. I didn't think that I'd be able to go on and do 6 shows a week and still feel energetic, wanting to do it every single night. I didn't think I would feel that way. And then we moved forward to the tour, and you know, they've changed scenes from what it was at the Adelphi. We've added new choreography, we've added some new songs, taken away some songs, and I think it's a better show. It's a revamped version of what was at the Adelphi, but I think it's a better show, and I'm so pleased about doing it. And yes, it's scary to sign your life away for a year, but what excites me is just the simple fact that people that didn't get to see it in the Adelphi get to see it now, and I love it. I absolutely love doing this show, and what a privilege and an honour to be able to perform Whitney's songs night after night.
We should say the growling is not your manager in the background annoyed with my questions. It's the dog. It's the dog playing with the football.
Yes, it's my dog, Alfie. He's having a moment with himself and a very big football that's bigger than him, but he can actually pick it up by himself.
I regularly have a moment with myself, but it's not with a ball 3 times myself. Yeah, that's extraordinary. The dog's about 4 inches and the ball's a football.
Yeah, my dog Alfie is crazy. He is now officially the tour dog. I have 3 dogs, but the other 2 aren't trained as well as him, so I only take him. He's very well trained. He won't do any of his naughtiness anywhere else. He just wants to play a football, really. And that's how he makes himself happy.
Good for him. Good for him. Going back to this show, what's amazing about it is there are literally a handful of people in the world who could perform this role, certainly as well as you. And it's extraordinary how they've given you an opportunity to be the star. Let's face it, Whitney was so amazing. You've got to have somebody almost on her level, if not better, to pull this off, because if not, it looked really naff. And this is selling out. There isn't a seat available.
No, there isn't a seat available. We're very, very lucky, and I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful to those who have supported the show so far, because you know, when going into this, because of course where I've come from, which is a TV show which I won, but moving on nearly 7 years later, no one expected me to do this. So at this point in my career, I didn't expect myself to be taking on a role or doing theatre. And sometimes, things change, and it changes for the better. And right now I'm in a very good place, happy place, where I'm stronger than ever and enjoying what life has to bring.
Well, for me, it's up there in the top 5 performances I've ever seen anywhere in the world, particularly on Broadway and in Vegas. You are stunning, and I hope you know that. That leads me then to the beginning of this interview, is with you as a child. I mean, you can't be trained how to do what you do. You must have been born singing.
I think I was probably singing when I came out of my mother, because I really have to thank my mum for my talents. Yes, I've worked very, very hard, but I had a mother who pushed me in the right direction and still does. And she's very inspiring in herself, because she was a single mother raising 4 kids, but yet still living her dream. She was in Soul to Soul, and she's a massive inspiration to me. But, she, from the age of 5, I took it seriously. And then really at 9 is when she put me, doing bar mitzvahs, weddings, funerals, parties, you name it, I was singing there. And she said to me, when I reached secondary school, she said, you're going to have to sacrifice your weekends. You can't go out with your friends, ice skating and doing whatever. You need to be working on your art. And she's always said that to me. And that's probably why I'm such a goofball now at 26, because I missed out on a couple of things. When I was younger, naturally you do. And now I really have to thank her. Back then I used to say to her sometimes, Mum, I'm only like 12, I'm only 13, can't you just let me go out with my friends? And she'd always be like, no, because if this is what you want to do, get upstairs and listen to Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, whoever, you name it. She made me listen to them, study them, and then come down and perform it to her in the living room. So I've got a mother who really put me through my paces, and I can only thank her for that.
I always think the more talented you are, the more disciplined you have to be as good as you are. You do have to compromise, though, and lose a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess at this point it's all worth it. Were there moments, though, where you just felt like running away and it was all too much? Because it's a pressure.
Absolutely. And I think for me those moments were not having a life with friends. And I can openly, honestly say I don't have a lot of friends, because I've chosen my work over everything and over partying, over whatever. And as I go along, I make friends, which is great. But, I literally just take it a day by day, one day at a time. And I'm a very spiritual person. So for me, whatever God brings my way, and whatever is brought to my life, I take it with both hands and I run with it. I've been given endless opportunities, and for 26, I've accomplished a lot. There's a lot more I would like to accomplish, and I'm going to get there all in good time, hopefully. But one day at a time. And there's some, there's things that I've not been able to do yet that I hope that I can do in the next couple of years. But I don't feel the pressure to do it like tomorrow, because for me, timing is everything.
And you're still incredibly young. I wonder how you feel watching you doing what you do on stage, opposed to me watching you do it. Do you realise how technically brilliant you are at it, or do you still think you're an apprentice learning? How is your mind working when you're on that stage?
I see it as I'm learning every day. For me, I look at every performance as it's a rehearsal.
The dog didn't like that question.
The dog didn't like that question, no. I look at every performance like it's a rehearsal. There's only 3 songs in the show where I will acknowledge the audience, and it's the part where I can get them to get involved. But other than that, I can't even look at them, because I still feel like I've got a lot more learning to do within myself. And, my manager and I was only talking about this today. And I'm not afraid to say that, because you can't be great at everything, but I know that I can try my best to be great at everything.
Right, but what about leading to a tortured existence when we sit here doing this interview again and you're 45 and I say to you, have you qualified yet? And you still say, no, I'm learning. I mean, there comes a point when you've got to go, actually, I'm bloody good at this.
Well, I'm not knocking the fact that, I've read some reviews I haven't read. I don't read them all, but the ones that I have read and that those have been quite positive. I'm grateful. But I've got this attitude to life where, like, for example, my EP's out this week. I literally celebrated for maybe an hour and I was like, okay, cool, on to the next thing. Sat down with my manager and was like, right, I need to get back in the studio. And that's just the way my brain works. I don't dwell on moments, which is, sometimes that could be a bad thing, because you're kind of, you need to live in the moment and acknowledge what's going on there and then. But the way that I've always operated is moving on to the next thing so I can just better myself. But I will say, comparing my take to Rachel Marin from last year at the El Delphi to now, I think I've grown in the character. because when I got the opportunity to start again with a new cast in January this year, and with the directors, and then the whole team, I literally forgot about what I'd done in the El Delphi and wanted to make it fresh again and new, and remember why I love my team as Rachel Marin, or why I love what I do as a job as Rachel Marin. So I've taken it on to a different level, and I'm proud of it, is what I'm trying to say. So this is the time where, and I don't usually do this, I can tap myself on the back and say well done, but the job's not done yet. I've still got a year to go.
I think the great Oprah Winfrey once said that you don't evolve as a human being until you're present. Are you giving yourself any pleasure through this role or this job or the success of the EP?
Yeah, I am. And you know, it's very rare that I say this, but even in the car driving down to meet you today, I turned to Gary and I went, I'm really proud of this EP. And he turned to me back and he said, you should be. And it's very rare that Gary, it's very rare that I'll turn around and go, I'm so proud of this. I'm not that type of person to believe my own hype, so to speak. And the reaction I've had so far with the EP has been outstanding. It's only a couple of days in, so I don't want to get too excited, or but I am really pleased. And I'm pleased because it's a body of work that I've put together in terms of the EP that I've done without a label, I self-funded everything, and I've got a very close-knit, very small team that I keep very close to me that help me stay grounded and keep me on the right path. In terms of the Bodyguard, I'm proud of this moment here, because when they offered it to me 2.5 years ago, I said there's no way on God's green earth that I would be able to do this role at all. And my old managers at the time looked at me like I was crazy, and I went, but that's just the truth. If I don't believe in myself, then the audience won't believe me.
Outside of this, which is a job, let's face it, you have to come to a different town every night. Yes. How showbiz is your life now, or is it one of utter discipline?
It's so disciplined. It's, promoting something and doing this show is actually quite difficult, and I'm feeling it in my body this week in particular. And for the past 4 months, I've felt it because I've been working on this EP whilst doing the show. But it's strict, I can't drink unless it's a night off. On a Saturday night, I can have a glass of wine. I can't eat dairy. My whole diet's changed. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I cheat and have a little bit of chocolate just to perk me up. But yeah, it's changed. It's really changed. And I've got the amount of hours I've got to sleep as well in order to execute this role is ridiculous, because I've never slept so much in my life. But at least I'm getting a good night's sleep. But I still wake up feeling tired.
And then becoming neurotic about it. When I look at you on that stage, there is an entire audience who have booked a ticket to see you. Let's face it. I know the show is The Bodyguard, but Alexandra Burke is the star and we're paying to see you. If you let us down, we're all going to be incredibly pissed off. What pressure on you is there to turn up and be able to sing like that Alexandra Burke that we're all expecting?
There is pressure. There absolutely is pressure. And there's times where I've walked off stage, and I speak to my MD every night before when the show's finished. It's like with something we do, just so I can get his opinion on how the show went for him as well. And there's times I've walked off stage going, that was terrible tonight. And he'd look at me and go, what the hell are you talking about? And then I would read, people would tweet me and stuff, and I'd go, oh my God, maybe they heard me crack there, or it's all in my head sometimes. And I'll read people tweeting me going, oh, what a great show, whatever. And that's great. But there are times where I walk off the stage and I'm like, could have done that better. Could have done this better. Do
you realise, though, when you're being very average, it's still amazing to us because you have that gift? I know it sounds like I'm blowing smoke up your bottom. Right.
And I looked at him like it was crazy. I just looked at you like you were crazy too. I don't understand that. To me, I've got a certain standard, and if I don't reach it, I will walk off stage crying. It's happened before.
And there have been performances where you didn't do what you wanted to do.
Absolutely. And I don't know how I deal with it. I think I just have to learn to forget about it. Unfortunately, if I do something that's not right in the show, it will play on my mind for the rest of the show, and that's what I've got to try and get myself out of. I have to remember that people are not remembering that moment. They've moved on already, and I'm already still thinking about an hour ago. So that's where, sometimes I have a fight in my own mind. But yeah, I just give what I can give every single night without fail and hope for the best.
And then we look at Whitney's story, which ended in tragedy, and I look at your career, which couldn't be more positive, couldn't be more successful, as was hers. How do you stop letting the business get bigger than you, and the ego getting bigger than you, and the fact that you're being papped everywhere? I just Googled you today to see what you've been up to, and there you are on Saturday doing your shopping, minding your own business. Yeah. When does that become normal?
It's never really normal for me. I still find it. I still have to pinch myself with the life that I live, but I see that it's just. I just see it as it is what it is, and what is normal for me is family and friends, and then going on stage. That's normal. It's normal for me to be in the studio and make music because that's what I love. You know, even the other day when I heard my song on the radio, and you know, I haven't released music in a long time, so to hear it on the radio for me was like the first time hearing it ever. I was crying in my house, and so my sister was like, "Why are you crying? This is normal." I was like, "It's not normal," because you know, there can come a time in someone's life, or an artist's life, when radio may not support you. So it's a privilege to be played on radio. It's my opinion anyway. Being papped and things like that, you know, I just see that as a different part of everything. I don't find that normal at all whatsoever. And I just kind of just get on with it. I don't let it faze me. I don't let anything faze me. I don't believe my own hype. Never believe your own hype, because as an artist, that's where you can go downhill. And I guess in the same sense, it's really my team and my family to thank for that, because they keep me grounded. And, you know, I went away to New York for a year to record and do life coaching, just to better myself as a person, as a sister, as an auntie, as a cousin, as a whatever, as a daughter. And there was a lot of issues I had to mentally get out of personally, and realize my worth, really, which I never realized before. And doing that life coaching course has helped me stay grounded, I would say. It's definitely helped me stay grounded.
Have there ever been days where you wish you were at the checkout in Tesco just serving people, and you could live a private life and not have the pressure of looking at people looking at you?
Never. Because I visualized my life as a child. So everything that I've been given by the universe, it doesn't faze me because I visualized it. So to me, I don't get fazed by the cars I drive, my house, what I have in my house. I don't get fazed by any of it. You know, today, I looked at my wheels on my car and they are abused. And my manager went, "You've really got to get that sorted." I was like, I don't really care. And that's just the way I am. Like, for me, it's materialistic things. It can easily be replaced. It is what it is. I have my life, and that's what matters more to me. You know, and that's just the way that I operate, really. I just don't believe that anyone should see me as not human just because I'm in the Daily Mail.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And equally, when you Google you and Wikipedia you, we see what you're rumoured to be worth, which is always wrong, of course. But nevertheless, you're an exceedingly rich lady who doesn't really need to be sat here wasting your time talking to me. Again, you could pinch yourself and say, no, and I'm enjoying it too, it's great. But again, there's obviously a drive in you that inspires you to still be here, because you don't really need to be, do you?
It's
That's
funny.
the truth.
What drives me is the fact that I love performing. You take music away from me and I will be a miserable human being. And I just get itchy feet. Like, literally, coming off the Adelphi, how long did I take off? A couple of days? And I was straight back in the studio. I'd done 3 months stint, and then I was tired, exhausted. Like, I'm at that point now, on the last week at the Adelphi, I'm at that point this week. And my face is breaking out, and I'm tired, and then this morning I couldn't move. And then what will happen is, I'll go home, 24 hours, I'll be like, right, I need to work. And I'll literally find myself in the studio, because I built a studio in my house. So I've already emailed my team to say, guys, I need to get back in the studio. What dates are you available in May? Like, and that's just the way that I work.
Okay, a holiday. Let's talk about, I know the show's closing for 2 weeks to give you a holiday. That's why they've done it. They would keep going if they thought you were able to. So we've got a 2-week holiday and you're not taking one.
Well, we decided today I might just do 5 days somewhere.
How about a week or 14 days like normal people?
No. That's what everyone else on the tour is doing, actually, and I'm not. I've got to work. I have to, because Gary I'll be miserable. But that's just the way I am. I love to work.
But that energy is infectious and amazing. I wonder, though, the toll it takes on your voice. I mean, surely that needs to rest every now and again.
Yeah, and that's why I try to get my 10 hours sleep, and then that's my 10 hours of not talking. So I justify it by going, but I slept for 10 hours, which means I didn't speak for 10 hours, which means I can speak all day. And that's really the wrong way to justify it. But in my brain, that's how it works. And but yeah, basically, how to preserve my voice, I have to always talk very low. When I meet people, I usually would always scream and stuff like that. I haven't screamed in a very long time because I can't afford to. It literally, that's 2 songs down the drain as soon as I start screaming. But yeah, it's difficult, and I drink a lot of throat coat tea. Hot Ribena is very good. I steam a lot as well. I don't over steam. I found that when I was over steaming at the Adelphi, I was losing my voice more. And I'm just surprised. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually quite surprised that I've been able to do rehearsals for a month in January. Before that was recording at Abbey Road for the show, and then do 3 months. By God's grace, I'll get through this week, and then do 3 months of shows. I have no idea how I've done it. People keep asking me, how'd you do it? And I'm like, I really have no idea.
And then the strain. I'm a deeply unattractive man, as you can see. What's the strain of being
terrible?
No. What's the strain of being gorgeous? Because on that stage, when you walk out, you are a piece of ass, and you know it. I mean, they dress you up gorgeous, and you look amazing. But I mean, you can't be going down the buffets eating those Chinese on a Saturday night. Is there a load of regime involved in that?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The past 2 weeks, I've been eating at 11 p.m. and that's when I've been having my dinner after the show, which is terrible. But yeah, I have to eat a lot in the day. I have to eat small meals and regularly, which I'm not used to doing, but because of the show, I've got no choice. You know, before a show, sometimes I have 2 or 3 bananas. During the show, I eat bananas. And I get little energy shots now from Holland & Barrett if I really need them. But yeah, the food-wise, I can't be in like chips and bread, and can't do any of that.
By the way, if this has gone off, it's because the dog's just sat on the recorder and may have switched us off. No, we're still recording. Everything's fine.
Good. Oh, because now he's sleeping.
And now he's upside down. I found a friend here. Is this nice to have the dog with you on the road? Because it's not nice when you're going from theatre to theatre. Is this a little bit of home for you?
Yes, this is home for me. And thank God my family come up, you know, every so often to see me, come and cook on Sunday roast and stuff like that. Or my manager Gary comes and spends a couple of days with me. I find it very hard being away from people I love. And even today I was like, Gary, why are you leaving me? He was like, I've got a life.
You're not the most important thing in the world. Hello.
Exactly, he's got a family as well. But it's hard for me to be away. And to answer your question, it's hard. I find it a strain being away from home. And just today in the car, I spoke to my best friend and heard his voice, and I was just like, oh my God, I want to come home. I just want to be with you. I just want to be my best friend. And I had to snap out of it within seconds because I was like, no, you've got a show to do. So having Alfie around is a massive deal for me. And I don't stay in hotels. I have a rule. If I'm going to be on the road, I need to be in apartments because I need to feel like I'm at home. And so I burn candles, I've got room spray, incense, all of that. And in hotels, you can't always do that because the smoke alarm might go off. But so I stay in apartments, and then that way my family can come and have a spare room and whatever. So that's my rule, and that's really helped. Not being in hotels has really helped. Yeah.
I've deliberately not talked about the X Factor during this interview, but it's somehow not the same anymore. There aren't any Alexandra Burkes anymore having the career that you've got. You did it at the right time, didn't you? We were surprised by your talent, and it is lucky when you look back.
Yeah, it really, I always say it was a lucky time for me in my life because I went for it at 16 and got told I was too young, and then went back at 19 and won the show. So, and for me, personally, I believe that, you know, it is a TV show, yes, and they've got to get their ratings as any TV show has to get. But I always believe that TV shows that allow people opportunities like that and give them a platform, it has to be about the voice, has to be about the music, has to be about what your voice is bringing to the table for them to judge and for people to vote. And I haven't watched it properly. Is it on yet? It's not on yet, is it? It's not started yet.
Back in the summer.
Yeah. So I watched a little bit of last year, actually, and I did think last year was not bad. I thought it wasn't bad. Andrea was my favourite. But then when I went to go see it live, Ben, the guy that won, he was a dark horse because live, he knocked it out the park. Absolutely knocked it out the park. So, you know, I guess when TV shows don't think about ratings, the success stories, I think, come. I think.
Absolutely, and I think we were surprised by it in those days. We were surprised to see the talent, and there wasn't so much manipulation. Now we have to have a dead granny to get on it, don't we?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I think my year was a good year because you couldn't call it who was going to win.
Right.
Couldn't call it. I just remember everyone being amazing, and it was a feisty year. It's a difficult year too, because I thought by week 2 I'd be out. So, yeah, it was a tough year.
You did, but we didn't. Do you ever hear from Cheryl or any of the guys?
No, I don't really. I mean, every time I see Cheryl, Simon, Louis, I've seen Louis a couple of times as well. it's always good vibes.
So then, of course, exciting times for you now. You've got the show going on and the new EP, Renegade, which is, as you say, already getting amazing praise. This is a personal project for you, and again, something you're taking great pride in.
Yeah, I started this project last year at the end of August, and basically wanted to put a piece of work out there that I could definitely call my own. With Renegade, it therefore meant that I had to be rebellious in the sense of not doing what everyone expects me to always do in terms of what to sing or what to say or what to look like and what to write about. I just done my own thing. Called my in-house team, made all my own mood boards, and literally we got to work, and it's taken us months and months of work to get this body of work out there. And I call it a piece of art because I take a lot of, I'm just really proud of it. I'm really proud of this moment. The fact that it's finally out there, there's a video that goes with it, and there's more things that I'm going to be putting out as well as the weeks go by. But it's special to me because it's honest. The most honest I've ever been.
Do you think up to now we haven't really got to know the real Miss Burke?
I think so. And I think with this EP and everything that I'm putting out, as the weeks go by, like mini documentaries and stuff, I think the world and those who have heard my music before or maybe new to my music, they'll get to know me as a person, and there's no filter, there's no barriers for once. And you know, that comes with being creatively in control and being your own boss. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm thoroughly enjoying that moment, this moment in particular, because I'm calling all the shots. And with that, it means you've got to be a renegade, and that's exactly what I am. So yeah.
Have you ever been happier? I mean, we've got the show that's selling out. We've got the EP that's doing incredibly well. You look as hot as you've ever looked.
Thank you.
You're 25. You've got it all in front of you.
26 now.
26. I beg your pardon. It's going pretty well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm in a really good place. I'm stronger than ever, and it's. Right now in my life, it's my music, my rules, and everything that I'm doing is decisions based upon my heart and not led by other people saying this is what you should or shouldn't be doing. So I'm in a very good place. Very, very good place.
And what about a slightly chubby ginger boyfriend? Now, I know we started this at the beginning, but to end, let's bring it full circle. Is there any remote possibility an ugly chap like me could get a date with somebody as beautiful as you?
Why do you keep calling yourself ugly?
Look in the mirror. I mean, come on.
This is silly. And yes, what am I, Gary, right now? In the dating process of life?
Oh, I am as well, but it's impossible.
Look, he's got his voice on there now.
There you go.
Not free, Nancy. Come in. But I'm at a point in my life where dating is something that I am now considering.
You're not doing that Tinder thing, are you? It's impossible.
God, no, Jesus, no.
Did you know Ginger's a band from there? Isn't it offensive?
Are you being serious?
No, I'm not.
Oh my God, I was about to say. I was like, because I'm not really down with the kids, babe, so I don't know.
How do you meet someone, though, when you're you? I mean, for me, I can go in any bar, but I mean, everybody's going to immediately know who you are. Yeah,
that's where it becomes difficult. I mean, for me, relationships is something that I can't particularly look at because I find it hard to know who's interested in me, for me, versus what they see on TV. So, it is difficult. Love is something I think... Not that I've struggled with, I don't want to say it's a struggle, but it's something that I always have to be cautious about when meeting new people or being asked out for a drink. I've been asked, I got chatted up in Marks and Spencer's last week. And my God, I did not know what to do. The man did not know who I was, by the way. And it was amazing.
You went over the organic veg or something?
No, I was just in the bit where you pick up meat. And I was just
so to speak.
And the man, yes, so to speak. I threw myself in that one. But he was chatting me up and he had no idea who I was, which was lovely, but I didn't know what to say to him.
What about yes? Why didn't you?
Oh, can I get your number? I was like, no. He was like, well, why? I was like, because I don't give out my number. He was like, well, an email? I was like, no. You can't have nothing. He goes, can't I take you out for a cup of tea? I was like, no. I'm really sorry, but you can't. None
so
of
what is it? You're too busy? You didn't like him?
You know? No, I'm just not used to that. I think I panicked. I genuinely think I panicked, and I was just like, I can't. I'm talking to a stranger, and if my mum was here, I'd be like, if my mum was here, she'd put a stop to this. So I can't talk to strangers, and I felt like a kid again. I didn't feel like a woman. I felt like a 15-year-old girl that didn't know what to do when a boy talks to her.
So is this the final bit in the puzzle then, the final jigsaw piece? When we get that sorted, we've got the perfect life? Or have we not got time for shenanigans?
You know what, I believe my life is perfect right now, but the cherry on top would of course be to settle down at some point. And I'm 27 this year, and I even said it again today, by 30s when I want kids. So I need to get going really to meet someone.
All right, I'll leave you my card at the end, but I think the Daily Mail will have a field day. You know, you and I coming out of shops together, it's going to be a thing of ridicule.
Oh, but
it?
you know what, Daily Mail, I love them because they take pictures and then they just write their story, and sometimes it's not even true, but it is what it is. And Daily Mail have actually been quite kind to me. So let's see what they say about us.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, listen, congratulations. The new EP, Renegade, is out now. You can get it on your website, which is...
Yes, AlexandraBurkeOfficial.com, or you can download it from SoundCloud directly.
And by the way, I want to say I've been talking to people around the building, and apparently you're so nice to all the fans afterwards, and that's a sign of a true star who knows how to behave. So congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
You are truly phenomenally talented. Come and see her in this Bodyguard. If you want to see a performer who can do everything, and some in this role have not achieved that, to be able to sing, dance, act, do the accent, look hot at the beginning, then look frumpy in the middle, and then stunners at the end. You do all that brilliantly. Alexandra Burke, thank you.
Thank you so much.